Well, hello, this is Dean Tenney. I'm coming to you from my studio here in fabulous Las Vegas. We take requests. I'm not sure how large the audience is, but we've had a lot of people matriculate through the channel, SIE, Series 7, 65, 66, more often 66. And some of those folks are now on to their General Securities Sales Supervisor 910. And I've had several requests to open a playlist for series 9 and 10, and I've done so. There's one lecture that resides there already for both series 4s and 9s. It's on multiple option strategies, spreads and straddles. I did cover some things that are not germane to the 7, but I thought would be, in passing, productive to talk about for 4s and 9s. So I will refer you, if you're a 4 or a 9, to that lecture that's already sitting there in the playlist. And it has some margin stuff. What I didn't cover in there is synthetic options, which I'm going to do presently. And I didn't cover option order equivalents. There's a lot of stuff. So kind of the same process we've been working on the channel for all of these various series. We'll have a series playlist. I'll put some subject content up there. And then I'll put up the test specifications. I'll explicate those from the content outline. We've done that for the SIE. We've done it for the 7. I'm presently almost finishing up. I'm closing in on finishing up the explication of 65 and 66. So it might take me a while to get to the complete explication of the 9 and 10 done. All right, so what are synthetic options all about? They're not going to use the word synthetic. That's a technical term. They're going to say most similar to. And there might be reasons where, I'm looking at the long call or short call or long put and short put, and I don't like the break even. I can't get, the kind of combination I want in terms of gain loss, break even. And I can't get any excess equity or SMA. And in those situations, as a strategy, I might look and say, okay, well, what does the synthetic look like? And so let's get started on synthetic options. So let's go through how these are alike. So this is just a covered call. On a 7, that would all be while you're held accountable for as a covered call, right? So we buy 100 shares of Apple at 150, and we write a 150 call for 7. So our break even would be 143. Let's see, my pen. There we go. Is 143. Stock cost less the premium. Again, I'm not lecturing here. I'm assuming if you're taking the 9 that you already, I don't need to start over the basics about what, what's it mean to write a call as an obligation to sell. Max loss would be when the stock goes from the break even to 0, $143 per share, or 14,300, right? And the maximum gain, I have to give up the strike at the strike. So my maximum gain is the break even to the strike price, right? If I have a T here, dollars out versus dollars in. I paid 150 for the Apple. I brought in 7 points for the option. And this is actually a neutral covered call because I'm buying Apple at 150 and I'm selling 150. Who cares for our purposes? We're going to just say it's bullish because, that's what I'm making the comparison. And here, if the stock goes to 0, it looks like that. And so we lose 143 to 0, right? Max gain, I have to give up the stock at the strike price. They don't participate past that strike price. So that's kind of what that looks like in terms of that. So now let's look at a short Apple put. Please note, break even is 143. The maximum loss is 14,300. Break even to 0. The maximum gain is the premium, which in this case is 7 points or $700, which was the same as that covered call. And again, here we are bullish. So again, this is not something you're held accountable for on your Series 7, but it is on your Series 4 and your Series 9, right? So let's just do a side-by-side comparison. And again, they're not going to use the word synthetic on your exam. They'll use most similar to. So here we bought 100 shares of Apple 150. We wrote a 150 call at 7. Our break even is 143. We short an Apple December 150 put at 7. Our break even is 143. Our maximum loss is 14,300 when the stock goes from the break even all the way to zero. And that is the same here. Break even to zero. And here, we have that would be 143 per share, or again, 14,300. Maximum gain is $700. Maximum gain is $700. And again, both of these are bullish positions. So as you can see, this is a synthetic short put. Now, again, they won't say synthetic. They'll say, most similar to. I'll show you what this looks like as a test question in just a moment. Anyways, if you see here, you're buying 100 shares of Apple 150. You're writing. So again, why would you do this one? Well, it just is another way to get this done. Maybe, for example, I'm not approved to do a short put, but I am approved to do a covered call. So I could kind of get over a little bit on my level of approval if I know synthetics, right? So maybe it's a different level of approval to short a put than it is to do a covered call. So I can almost come up with my own short put here using a synthetic. And I told you the other reason here to do this is if I buy the 100 shares of Apple, I'm going to have excess equity. Margin is going to be more favorable to me in that scenario in terms of it works in my favor. All right, so now let's tell you how this gets asked as a test question. Long 100 shares and short a call is most similar to, right? That's what we just said. If you're long 100 shares, because it has the same risk reward, break even, max gain, max loss, right? Just review. There's the covered call. And again, I'm not lecturing. If you don't, I'll refer you to my basic options. If you're struggling keeping up with the T and the numbers and all that is a 9, it'd be worthwhile to go back and do lecture 1, 2, 3, and 4, which are all the basic options and multiple option strategy. I go over, 8, 9 hours. If you're, who knows, if you're taking a 9, it's been, maybe it's been years since you did your 7, and you haven't done a call or put in many, many years. I'll refer you back to those lectures. They would be worth your time. So I'm assuming you're good to go. All right, so let's try our next one. So here we're buying 100 shares of Apple at 150, and we're buying a 150 put at 7. So again, I use T's, however you go about this. And again, if this looks foreign to you, maybe you should go back and review your options. But, let me get a different color here. The break even here is going to be the stock cost plus the premium. And so the break even here is going to be 157. The stock cost plus the premium. The max loss is anytime I want, I can stick this to somebody at 150. So my max loss is going to be the break even to the strike price. So the max loss here is $700. My max gain is unlimited because I don't have to sell the stock if I don't want to. And remember, the stock dominates, and so this is a bullish position. All right, so that's just a protective put. That's a hedge on a stock position. And that would all be, you'd be held accountable for in a Series 7. But in a Series 4 or Series 9, we have this new concept called synthetics. So again, we buy an Apple, December 150 call at 7, break even's 157. Maximum loss is $700. Maximum gain is unlimited. And we are bullish. So let's compare these side by side. So we buy 100 shares of Apple at 150 and we buy the put, break even's 157. Break even's 157. The maximum loss is $700 here. The maximum loss is $700 here. The maximum gain is unlimited. The maximum gain is unlimited. And we're bullish here, and we're certainly bullish there. So again, this is called synthetics, but on the test, they'd say more similar. I'll show this to you as a test question in just a moment, right? But again, here, the advantage to this idea here is you don't get any excess equity, you don't get any margin. Here you get, maybe can generate some SMA, some buying power. That might be one reason you would choose to do synthetic rather than just doing this. And then again, you can mess around. Maybe the exact kind of break even risk reward ratio isn't there. And so in terms of you reaching into your bag of option tricks, you say, well, let me look and see if I can come up with a synthetic that maybe is a little more favorable for me. All right, so long 100 shares and long a put is most similar to a long call, right? So these are called synthetics. So let's look at our next one. You sell short 100 shares of Apple 150, and you buy a 150 call at 7. So, I like to use dollars out versus dollars in. So I bring in 150 here. I pay out 7 for the protection. And I'm a pretty bright guy here. I'm a very bright guy because I know that if I just, sell short the stock, I've got unlimited loss potential. So as a registered option principle, Series 4 or Series 9, if somebody wants to be approved to buy calls on short stock positions, I'm not wonderful, please. Anyways, my break even is 143. My max gain is when the stock goes to 0. If the stock goes to 0, I'm going to make $143 a share or 14,300. My maximum, messed up on that. I gave that was the max gain. The max gain is when the stock goes to 0. So I make 143 or 14,300. My max loss, anytime I want, I have the choice to buy back the borrowed stock at the strike price. So that's kind of cool. And so my maximum loss is when I exercise my call and say I'm out of here. So my max loss is $700. And I'm bearish. And remember, on the way down, if I'm correct here, I'd be generating SMA excess equity that I could, use to sell short some more securities or take cash out of the account. And I certainly can't do that with this, right? So there's the synthetic and here's the actual option. And here I have a choice to sell 150. Please note, break even is 143. Please note, maximum loss is 700. Please note, max gain is 143 or 14,300. And you're bearish. So again, let's look at them side by side. Let's look at them side by side. So we sell short 100 shares of Apple 150, and we buy a 150 call at 7. So that's a break even 143. And here the break even is 143. The maximum loss is $700, right? Because I can get out of this thing at 150, paid 7. So worst case is I lose $700. Here I lose $700. Maximum gain is when the stock goes to 0 in both situations. That's $143 or 14.3, right? And it looks like I got typo here. We are not nearish. We are bearish. Maximum gain, stock goes to 0. I stick it to somebody at 150. I paid 7 to get rolling. And so please look side by side. Those things look pretty similar in terms of risk and reward. So let's see how this gets asked as a test question. Let's see how this gets asked as a test question. Sell short 100 shares along a call is more similar to, and you'd come up with a long put. Now, this last one is kind of foolish. I don't know why anybody would do this last one. Very, very foolish. So you want to have a synthetic unlimited loss potential scenario, right? So I don't know why you'd want to do that. As a registered option principal or a sales supervisor, general security sales supervisor, this is just very, very foolish. You need to recognize it for being just that. Very foolish. I don't know why anybody would want a synthetic naked call. But anyways, break even here, I short the stock at 150. I sell the put. My break even is 157. My maximum loss is unlimited because that is not an effective hedge. That is a partial hedge. So 150 or higher, the put expires, I lose my money. Max gain even more foolish. You can see it can get me going on a rant on this pretty quickly. My max gain is only 7 points. I mean, it's just really silly. So max gain is $700. And again, I'm bearish. And so here is the other stupid position, right? Not so smart. Again, break even is 157. Maximum loss is unlimited. Maximum gain is the $700, the premium, and you're bearish. So let's look at those side by side. So please note the break even here is 157. The break even here is 157. Right? The maximum loss here is unlimited. And the max loss here is unlimited. The maximum gain here was $700, right? And the maximum gain here is $700. And in both of these, you are very much not smart bears, not near as. I'll correct the slide after I do the thing, but you're very foolish bears. There are smart bears. There's a smart bear, right? Smart bears. By the way, as a ROP or as a general security sales supervisor, Series 9, my job is to recognize smart bears from dumb bears, right? And, I'm supposed to protect those dumb bears. So I don't know why you'd want to do this, but this is most similar to a naked call, an uncovered call. Don't know why you'd want to do that. Very, very foolish. Okay, so let me tell you what the game plan is. I do accept lecture requests. This was, again, a request to open a playlist for the Series 9. I've opened that. This will be the first drip or down payment I'll make on that playlist. So here's where we're at in terms of a Series 9. The next thing I'll probably do is capping and pegging on ethical business practices as it relates to options trading, front running, that kind of stuff. That's kind of what I have in my mind. And I'll also right away, probably the soonest, I'll probably do what I've been doing and put up a lecture, not a lecture, but an intro from the test specifications. I've been calling those to pass your Series 910, know your Series 910. And I'll probably do that, and I'll put that up right away. And then I'll probably split that into a Series 10 thing. I was thinking about having one playlist for Series 9 and 10, but I think I'll go Series 9 and have a separate playlist for the 10. If you want to impress people, you've been around a long time. They used to be called the 8, and then you would fail one and take a 9 or 10, but now they separate. So that's kind of where we're at. I was going to continue on here with capping and pegging and all that other stuff, but I think I'm going to try and do smaller kind of drips on this thing on the 9. Okay, so like, subscribe, share, and I'll see you next time.